Hello, everybody, and welcome to Through the Mist, Episode 3. We're going to do a little recap for everyone because it's been a crazy week. So, last time, you guys had all, you fellows, all of you folks, had been in the, can't think of it right now, the Mage Pit, which is usually a magic user tavern of sorts. You managed to save Twiggy from an untimely demise being eaten by a scummer, which appeared to be a very large blob of magical goo or something. Afterwards, you rested for the evening, washed the goo out of your hair and clothes and all of that. And then the next morning, you had gotten together, had some breakfast, and decided to go see if you could sneak in to the Witchlight Carnival, which you didn't so much sneak as much as walked in the front door or the front gate, convincing the goblin that was watching that you worked there, or you had been told to come and work there. So you headed on in and were wandering around. You got some food, tried some beer and some horrid cider. I think a couple of you had gone off on your own and were kind of listening to a mage that was talking with Mr. Witch, which is one of the carnival owners. You'd learned that someone had stolen his watch and they had stolen Mr. Light's cane. You knew that Mr. Light was in a terrible mood and everyone should avoid him. And I believe the rest of you who had stayed in the eating area had found out from the pug that was there pretty much the same info. Does that sound correct?
That sounds about right.
Okay. All right. I do believe that Lyra had convinced the bugbear, Burley, that you were a guard and essentially so you've like created your inn. You are now, as far as anyone knows, officially working for the Witchlight Carnival. So as everyone comes back together in this eating area, what would you like to do?
Oof. Well, I think I'm going to taste some of that new cider coming out and just see if it's okay. Because I do like some good cider.
Yeah, as they tap the new one, you can smell the difference as you pour a mug of it. It is much fresher smelling. It doesn't smell quite so sour, and there was this like weird kind of sweet sour tang to the other one that isn't in this one. You feel better about it. Oh,
Lovely.
and the dog barked. Did everyone hear that?
Yeah.
Our first fickle fate. Let's
Dun, dun, dun.
because Dizzy hasn't been in a fickle fate before. Actually, I guess John's the only one who has. Dizzy's in the top left of my. We're gonna go this way around my screen. Dizzy, roll any die, and tell me what you get. Bloop. A 1.
Oh,
Amazing. I love it. Um, so, as you're tapping this keg, there is a commotion at the entrance to the food area, and you hear some shouting as a very tall, very skinny elf with very pale skin walks in. He's just he looks like a storm rolling in over the horizon as he works his way in, and there's people like dodging out of his way, and he's the one who's yelling. He's just like, "Get out of the way! You stupid fairies! Let this happen to me!" And is just very upset. What do you do?
You just yell at the fairies?
Yeah, like a bunch of the pixies and the sprites and the fairies that are clustering around him are like dodging out of his way now.
He needs a beer. He
Clearly.
needs a beer.
And to
I
give
am
an
gonna
apology.
ask him what his problem is.
He glances down at you. Who are you?
You don't know who I am. I am Dizzy, the traveling bard.
Do you know where my cane is?
I do not know.
The metaphorical
Then-
light bulb goes ding
Yeah.
over by
Then what
Elias.
good are you to me? And he looks over at Twiggy. He's like, why do you look so happy and colorful?
'Cause I am.
Get out.
Oh.
Just get out.
Would you like to look happy and colorful?
Oh, I would look happy and colorful if I knew where my cane went.
I mean, perhaps we could help you find your cane, but maybe you should simmer down a bit.
Simmer down. Those of you who are talking to Pinecone the pug, you see her like hiding under the table, and she's just like, and she just dashes off past him out of the eating area, the food court. Do you have some idea where it is? Is that what you're telling me?
No, but I could be persuaded to go out of my way to look for it.
If you're employed by the Witchlight, then what persuasion do you need? You're my employee. You should do what I say.
I mean, fair enough, but with a little extra motivation, I could be persuaded to do it faster.
He stops and he taps his chin, like, obviously, like he's doing it on purpose rather than actually thinking. He's like, how about I let you continue to get a paycheck and eat all of my food and all of it. Why are you drinking this morning? All of you need to go and find my cane.
Drinking helps the head.
What did you say?
Drinking helps the head.
Oh.
You can't find something if you're feeling down, right? Huh? Anybody?
Lilith is gonna go get a beer and bring it to him, but fully, like, you know, with the hood over so he can barely see, and kind of floating over without saying anything, and just put it in his hands.
Gotcha.
And nod and walk away.
He grabs it, like, you know, because you put it in his hand, so he kind of reflexively grabs it and looks at it, and then looks at you and drinks it. Angrily. He drinks it angrily.
That's the spirit.
We would love to help you find your cane, but it would be really great to have more information to know how to help.
Weren't you here last night? Don't you know? A group of people came in and they tricked the carnival. I don't know how they did it, but they tricked us. They they got themselves into the big top as the honorary guest, and they stole my cane.
Remind me what they looked like.
I will never forget the one. They were human, first of all. Blech.
Ew.
The one had this stupid hair and that face with its stupid nubby ears, and I just want to reach out and squeeze him until his head pops off.
Yeah, humans do have nubby ears, I suppose.
They're awful. Absolutely awful. Yeah, just
But I
give us all
know-
the
I wouldn't go that far to say that they're awful, but
These
they
ones
can
were
be.
awful.
For this purpose, I'm saying they're awful.
And there was a tiefling with them and a gnome, and I don't know how they did it, but they stole my cane.
And then they just walked out with it?
They disappeared.
As in, like, magic?
Well, who was on guard duty last night? Was it Nicholas?
Oh, Nicholas.
Nicholas doesn't do guard duty. He sells tickets.
I just meant who was, I guess, gatekeeping, I suppose.
It would have been one of the ogres.
You can't trust ogres for anything.
I mean, they've never done us wrong so far, but maybe you're right. Maybe one of them did let them in. Maybe they were working together.
Maybe
Oh,
need to
I
go
just
talk to
mean they're
them.
just incompetent, but you know this as a fellow elf.
He kind of looks at you. Maybe I need to hire new guards. I'm gonna go talk with them. He throws his beer down on the table, like, doesn't throw it, but, like, sets it violently down. Little bit of ale sloshes out, and he storms out of the food common area.
I'm gonna go retrieve the remainder of his beer.
Lyra just looks at everyone and goes, well, that was informative.
Can't
That
wait.
could have gone better, but I guess we got what we needed.
Did we? I mean, sounds like wizards probably, or
Two humans, a tiefling, and a gnome? Never know
Uh.
where we'll find those.
the bar. I mean,
But
that's
how
usually where
often do
you find them.
humans and tiefling with the gnome travel together? I mean,
Lyra
humans
just
travel
kind of
with
looks at
anybody.
Dizzy and
but-
gestures to them, like everybody, like in their friendship group. Like,
Well, we don't have a human among us, do we?
no.
True.
No, but we're different enough.
Hmm.
We may need to go back to town.
Yeah.
We may need to talk to some wizards.
Or maybe check a pawn shop.
I
Should
mean,
we talk
Absolutely.
to
Same
the
people who
ogres
took
first?
Life's Pain took Witch's Watch.
maybe we should talk to Witch.
Lyra literally just goes,
So while you're all talking, Pinecone comes, like, walking back in, nervously looking around. Is he gone?
Yep.
Smells like he's gone.
Why are you so afraid of him? He's harmless.
He's usually
big-
very happy and go lucky, and I like him very much, but ever since his cane was taken, and every so often, he just gets very grumpy. Yes, he's very grumpy sometimes. Not very
He
often.
needs more
though.
beer.
You know,
He does.
there have been those who told him that, and sometimes he does that, but then he just seems to get more grumpy, and she shrugs as much as a pug can shrug.
Oh.
I feel like that could
Shrug
be a
pug.
game. Shrug pug.
Well, I guess we should see if this rogue group talked to anybody before, as they were sneaking in, before they stole those items. Maybe somebody's got a clue.
We
Quick,
can ask.
hide! Pinecone runs and hides under a table.
Oh, I guess he's coming back.
All of a sudden, Mr. Light whips back around the corner and, like, stands up against the fence that separates the area. He no longer looks angry. Now, like, the color is drained from his face and his eyes are very wide. You might notice a little bit of sweat beading on his forehead and trickling down as he pushes himself up against the fence.
Do you want to talk to him?
You there. You there. He points at Dizzy. Come here. Come here. Please. Please come here.
Okay, I will reluctantly walk over.
Run to the big top wagons and bring back Mr. Witch. Yes, bring back Mr. Witch. Quickly. Yes.
Alright, I am gonna signal for Lyra to come along with.
Just about to say, if Lizzie doesn't signal for Lyra to come with them, Lyra's coming.
You go to signal and she's right
She's
there.
just like right there.
Like magic.
Alright, he seems a bit I guess flustered. So let's see what's going on. Let's go to the big top.
Okay. So you head out and you
Lyra will
noticed
go
as you head out, whereas before there was kind of like this not jovial air to the everything was kind of like had that like rundown kind of very quiet sense to it, which is weird for the carnival. But now there's like this sense in the air this tension. And as you're walking around, you actually don't see anyone wandering around setting things up or anything. If you notice anyone, they're kind of hiding is probably the best word. It's pretty obvious they're like peeking out of their wagon, or like those by the calliope are like staying like on the other side of it and kind of peeking around. And you head off towards the big top. While they're heading that direction, Umrak and Twiggy and Lilith are still in the food court. What are you doing?
Polishing off his beer. I mean, Mr. Light doesn't need it. I'll finish it. It's fine. It's fine.
Do
gather
we
the
notice
fae.
anybody looking kind of shady? Like any characters that just seem to need to be talked to?
Yeah, so right now all you see is Mr. Light, who's hiding. After a moment, he like peels himself off of the fence and like moves very lively, almost spider-like, as he like scurries over and hides behind a table, and then he like almost like a mouse scurries over to the where the drinks are kept, and he reaches up and grabs a mug, and then his other hand reaches up and grabs another mug, and he's just like crouching behind there, and he's like drinking from one, and then he drinks from the other. And otherwise, you see some of the other workers that had hidden when he came in, that had then like slowly started to come out, and then Pinecone was like, he's coming back! And so they all went and hid again, and they're all kind of peeking out, watching him. Some have begun to come out of hiding because they can tell he's no longer raging, and something is off.
Okay. Okay.
Well, I like his style.
Yeah, he's got great style. I'm gonna walk over to Pinecone, just because Pinecone seems to be the sweetest and most observant, and not draw attention. Just kind of walk over and ask if the group that was here that stole all this stuff just happened to talk to anybody for a longer amount of time that he could notice.
Gotcha. So as you head over to Pinecone, she's like, she's not come out from under the table, but she's kind of peeking out around the legs of this, this picnic table, and she's doing that thing where she's like watching, and her tail kind of wags a little, and then stops, and, like she pants for a moment, a little bit of drool, her tail wags, and then stops, and you approach her and ask that question, "Excuse me," and she looks at you and she says, I remember seeing them. They didn't talk to me, but I think they did talk to hang on, let me think of his name. He's my good friend, and I can't think of his name. Northwind. I know they were talking to Northwind. It's pretty obvious to see who Northwind talks to, because he's so big, and so when he stops to chat, you notice.
Alright, well, I'm very pleased, and I'm going to get, little Pinecone another beer. And just drop it down.
As you walk over to get a beer, you realize that there are now a handful of mugs around Mr. Light, and he's just kind of like slumped against the chair, the bench that he was leaning against. So you grab a beer and head back over. A pixie comes in and lands on Pinecone's back, and is like, "What do you think's got him so unflustered, but still flustered?" And Pinecone, I don't know. He has a weird smell. It almost is like fear or something. He's definitely off. Something's wrong.
Okay, well, we need to find Northwind. I'm gonna kind of. Is there anyone close to me where I can ask where Northwind is?
You could ask. So the pixie and the pug are right there, as you said it. The mug down, and Pinecone just like kind of absent-mindedly leans over and begins drinking.
Seems right. Yeah, we're looking for Northwind, I think, at this point.
Oh, I mean, he kind of wanders around. Last time I saw him was opening the map.
I hear he's in multiple places at once.
Right? He shouldn't be too far. You can probably, find him over at the dragonfly rides. If he's not there, then he's probably wandering around somewhere.
Right. That's helpful to me. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll head back and tell everybody what I know.
Okay. Umrak strokes his dark beard and nods sagely. Meanwhile, Dizzy and Lyra, so you're heading off to essentially where you were earlier. You know the way pretty well. Is there anything you want to do on the way, or are you just heading straight there?
So they're moving from the food area to the big top. So to over here, right?
Yeah, that
Or more,
kind of the back central.
more specifically over this way.
Can you ping again? Sorry. Yeah.
Like somewhere over there. All right.
Yeah, this is the wagon that Mr.
Okay. Okay.
Mr. Witch was in.
Okay. I don't think Lyra specifically wants to do anything, but while they're traveling, she is definitely going to like keep an ear out for people who might be like. I mean, I know you said there's not too many people like setting up, but like people are like peeking out type of thing, and like she's gonna keep an eye open for like anybody who. Because, like, there's a difference between looking out somewhere and, like, wondering what's going on, and then there's a different look on people who look out somewhere and, like, know what's going on. You know what I mean? Like...
Absolutely.
So she's going to keep an eye out for people who, like, peek out, who, like, look like they're like, oh, is it still happening? Not people who are like, oh, my God. You know, like, one of those, like... So people who might be more curious than afraid, I guess.
Yeah.
She's, like, keeping an eye out.
So I'm going to have you and Dizzy both make perception checks.
Okay. It would help if I had my sheet open. Possibly.
Nah.
Nah.
Nice.
Perception.
Oh, I accidentally rolled it twice.
No worries. I'm going to take your first one, which was higher anyway, so awesome. So both of you definitely notice that tension in the air, and you don't notice anyone that's particularly curious, per se. But you do notice, you both notice a difference, something that jars your memory, like it doesn't sit with the memory you have from going over here yesterday.
Okay.
Just beyond, if you're on the map, it's over here. As you're walking that direction, there is more carnival over there now that wasn't there earlier when you came this way. It looks like there's a path now that heads off that direction, and there are several bright and colorful wagons that are set up, and you can see some fairy folk moving around. There's fairies and pixies and little hobgoblin type creatures and such. But beyond that, there's a much larger carnival that it has set up. It wasn't there. You were here like half an hour ago.
Lyra definitely kind of like nudges Dizzy and is like, hey. She kind of like points that. She goes, which? And she just kind of like wordlessly points to like the new area.
I think the new area seems a little more exciting. I don't know, which didn't give off a very pleasant vibe, so...
We can get Witch when we get Witch. I agree.
And what's Light gonna do? Fire us?
Actually just like chuckles a little like, nah.
All right. So you head that direction, and having been in the area before around Thentia, like, it obviously, much like the Witchlight Carnival does, how it kind of introduces a different landscape to the area, some like by some kind of magic. Um, this also seems to have rearranged reality as it sprang up. As you walk down the row of bright and colorful carnival wagons, you notice that there are these fairy folk that are setting up and everything, and some of them already they're just hurry, necklaces, beads, baubles. I'm sorry, I'm not quite set up yet. But if you're interested in buying something, I absolutely can find it for you.
It's still daytime, right?
It is.
And they would know that the carnival usually is only at nighttime.
Correct.
Okay.
That they were like, they even said, I'm not quite set up yet, but if there's something,
Yeah.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Well, I just look at this and he's like, yep.
Alright, let's head on over.
Okay. So there's this like wagon that has a one side of it is propped open, and you can see that there's a bunch of stuff inside of it, but it's really hard to tell. There's like some baubles and some knickknacks and just kind of random stuff. You actually do notice there's some weapons. There's like a dagger over there, and there's some whips hanging down and such. But it looks like, I feel like a flea market stuffed into a wagon is probably the best descriptor.
I'm imagining, I don't know if anybody here plays Stardew Valley, but there's like that like wagon that shows up like once a week that you can buy like random things at.
Right.
It's like a random like gypsy wagon type of thing.
And so the fairy that is running it is just like, so if you see anything inside, I can go in and get it. You just let me know. Prices are negotiable.
We don't know what Light's cane and Witch's watch looks like, so...
That is true.
I mean, we don't know what they look like, but a cane is a cane, right?
Yeah,
Right?
that's true.
There.
And a watch is kind of a watch, right? Perhaps.
Yeah, unless they're like...
Watches can be a little bit more ambiguous than cane.
Right.
I mean, Lyra is definitely gonna peer around to see if there's anything cane-like or watch-like
Sure.
in the booth.
Let's do a either investigation or perception, whichever you prefer.
We're gonna go perception for her. Not
I'll
20.
go with perception.
Ooh.
Nice. So looking in, you definitely see what looks like it is like a dark wood cane. The top of it is like some kind of bronze head of a creature. The creature is very interesting. You've never seen anything like this before. It has these very large flappy ears, and then it has like this appendage or something that comes off of its face and goes down, and it's almost like a weird tentacle where its nose should be, drops down and like kind of curves back up in front of it.
Lyra is gonna point to the cane and say, "That looks interesting."
Oh yes, you have a great taste. Most people don't notice that one right away, but you obviously have a good eye. That came from a very faraway land.
Is that your only cane, or is that just your best cane?
I mean, we do carry some other ones, but obviously that is the best one that we carry. The others are so much more bland and boring.
And how much would you say that it's worth?
He eyes you both. For you, I'll make you a deal. How about 5 gold?
Lyra's gonna pause real quick. Like she's considering. Right? And she's like, "Do you have..." She's a little smart, right? She's like, "Do you have anything else like more special we could look at?" And kind of like very like that you don't keep out, really.
Did you say more special?
Yeah.
Roll a d20 for me.
Just a flat.
Just
20?
a flat d20.
All right. Oof.
He stops and thinks, yes, I think I do. And he actually has like a serious look on his face for a moment. One moment, and he goes around to the door and opens it and goes in behind all of the junk, and you can see him like rooting around in there for something. He's like, where did I put that? Oh, and you hear clanking and things being shoved around. Oh, here it is! And he pops up and he looks between all of the junk. He kind of like squeezes this little, looks like a little round container made of some kind of purple material. You're not really sure what it is.
Lara loves the color purple. Go figure. And she says, "May I see it?"
Yeah, yes, absolutely. Can you reach between? Don't knock that over. I'm sorry. Again, I'm sorry. We're not usually open this early. And he kind of like squeezes it through the like so that you can
She's
grab
gonna
it.
navigate her way to like grab this thing that she has no idea what it is, but she's gonna touch it anyway.
It definitely is like this container. For you, it's about palm size. For him, it was definitely larger. But it looks like it has a lid that can open.
Yeah, she's gonna open that.
So you realize it doesn't like pull open, it like slides, and there's a catch for it. And so you push the catch down, you slide it open, and inside is looks like a hand.
Like a hand?
Yeah,
Hand?
it's a very tiny hand, but it's definitely a hand.
Can she... I mean, not that she's great in this, but can she roll something like either an investigation or an arcana to figure out what this might be? If
Yeah,
it's even magical?
I do an arcana.
Okay. Okay. Oof.
Nice.
Larry used her one good roll.
Yeah, it looks like a hand. I will say that you've heard of paws and such that have been enchanted with different magic, but this is obviously like some kind of small person's hand or something.
Okay. She's gonna kind of like hold it out to Dizzy, like to like be like with like a questioning kind of look on her face. She's not a very verbose person, so just a questioning look on her face and like show it to Dizzy, like, what do you think this is?
I have no earthly idea. So should we take it or not take it, but should we purchase this and figure out what it does down the line? It does look rather interesting.
This and the cane, maybe?
Yeah. So how much would you part with this for?
I mean, I have had it for a while, so I can give you a discount. But it is quite rare. Why don't we call it 12 gold?
All right, so I'm gonna ask Lyra, like, may I hold it, please?
Yeah. She kind of hands it to Dizzy. Yeah.
Sorry.
And then I am going to try to. I'm gonna to just say, like, I don't think it's worth 12 gold, and then I'm gonna cast distort value on it.
What is distort value? You must share this with me.
That's awesome. This piece of garbage isn't worth 12?
Yeah, and I'm gonna make it look a little like scratched up, like maybe some of the purple bits have been chipped and dinged up. Make the hand look a little gnarly. Like I don't like this. It looks kind of valuable, but not 12 gold valuable.
Okay. What is your DC?
It is 13.
Oh no.
Oh no.
He's like, what? And he like flies out the back door and comes around and looks at it. Well, I mean, it might have like a little mold on the edge, but it's definitely, look, we'll call it, what did I say, 12 gold? We'll call it 10 gold if you buy the cane, 13 altogether.
I mean, that works for me. I'll just toss the coins out, like put them on the. I'll just put the coins in his hand because he did walk over.
Yeah.
He actually flew, and he like starts
Oh.
taking your coins, and he's like hovering and starting to go down lower. He's like, if you could just set them on the he carries a couple over and sets them down. They're definitely a little heavy for him, but he thanks you.
Mm-hmm.
Lyra, now that they've purchased this thing, she's actually having a moment of like revelation. She's like, "Do you know what this does?" I don't know. Maybe ask the person who sold it to her.
All I can tell you is that it is very special. And he starts putting the money into like a large lockbox.
Do you have any special watches or anything?
Watches. Do you mean like for keeping time?
Probably more so decorative, as a decorative piece than a timekeeper.
No, I can't really say that I have much call for watches. You might check. There's a gnome just over. Where did he set up today? Should be that direction. He's very into tinkering and making those little gear clockwork things. Perhaps he might have one.
A gnome, you say? Did this gnome perhaps travel with a tiefling and a human?
I mean, I don't think so. I don't really know him that well.
Yeah, I suppose you would probably notice a tiefling about. Human, probably not. But tiefling, most definitely. What say you, Lyra?
Sure. We'll venture to the gnome.
Okay. While you venture towards the gnome, going back to Lilith, Twiggy, and Unrak, what are you doing?
Drinking.
Drinking. Oh, I'm sorry, your audio's being weird. Is it being weird for anyone else or just me?
Yeah, you were just
It was
really
a little
quiet.
choppy
Okay.
for me.
Weird.
Okay,
Is
that's
it better now?
Yeah.
Better now?
Yeah, that's better.
I think we've been gone from everybody too long. Maybe we should gather people together and then go ask questions. I'm gonna
Great
ask that
idea.
Twiggy.
I'm gonna signal to a couple of the other Fae. All right, we're all getting together. Let's go.
What? Where are we going?
We're
get
gonna
with everybody
find our
else.
buddies. We're gonna find our buddies.
If it's all right with you, I'm just gonna wait here. And a lot of them were like, yeah.
Oh, with light?
I mean, he seems to have calmed down, and I'm a little concerned he might drink himself to death.
Probably not possible. He's an elf after all. That's fine.
I mean, really, we have other responsibilities that we should be doing. So, you go ahead.
I'm just gonna kind of nod to Twiggy. We've got this. We can always come back and have more beer. We'll find everybody. We'll come back and we'll get more beer after.
Just gonna hug my body around a tankard and just kind of try and fly off with it a little bit.
No, yeah, you saw another fairy that was bringing it in. He rolled it.
Oh no, not the keg
Oh,
itself. but
sorry.
Like
Gotcha.
a tankard of ale.
Yeah, you can absolutely
whatever.
fly off with one of those.
For the road, or
That
the
seems right. It
Yeah,
seems
yeah.
right.
sure
yeah,
there's other
we're-
places we can get more.
We'll step out and start heading toward. Well, of course, we don't know where these guys have gone at all, do
Right.
we?
This is true.
When we step out and we're looking around, do we notice this new section of the carnival that has opened at all?
Not from where you are. And I don't think you would have actually noticed that it was new anyway because you didn't go up there. But you do notice that there are a lot of the workers that are kind of like moving around a little less lethargically than they were, with more vigor, but also very nervously.
Okay.
Well, if there's more vigor, either the beer's starting to work on them, or it's almost showtime. And if that's the case, problem solved. We should go and find out if there's popcorn or
At the
maybe
big tent.
a card show, maybe, or I don't know, perhaps it's an early parade. Ah,
All right.
So you want to head
I'm-
up towards the big top?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
So you head up towards the big top, and as you get that direction, you notice that there are several of the workers that have kind of like clustered, and they're all talking with one another very excitedly, but obviously with some kind of nervousness worked in, maybe a little fear. And they all seem to be glancing at this other section that has shown up that looks completely like normal to you. Although, having come from a portal here, Twiggy, it doesn't look familiar to you. And Lilith, you don't remember the last time that you were here. You don't remember that was part of it.
Okay.
Oh my god, a new attraction. Oh my god, a new attraction. That's what this is all about. It's a new attraction. This is all for show. It's all been for show. They've been hamming it up. It's part of the act. We should go check it out first. We're here first. We should go do that.
Lilith kind of shakes her head but agrees. Like, okay, let's do this.
Yes. Yeah, I'll gonna buzz my way forward with the beer. Yeah.
And Lilith just kind of walks solemnly, but very, tall and large, picturesque right behind
Okay.
my life.
So as
My
you
life.
head down the fairway that leads into this other area, you see that there are all of these colorful wagons and such. It looks like they're setting up for this evening. Some of them are propping their wagons open and such. You see some fairies and some pixies, a little what essentially looks like a very small hobgoblin wandering around, and all of a sudden, Twiggy, you notice there are a couple of fairies that just stop and look at you. And they begin whispering to each other. And you can hear them.
Yeah, what-
Is that,
I don't.
is that? No, that can't be him. No, I think it is. You should go ask him. No, I am not. That can't be him. What? How weird would that be for him to just show up now? No, I'm pretty sure that's him.
Hello. It's me.
Are you Twiggy?
Yes. I mean,
I told
Who
you
else
it was
would I-
him. I told you it was him.
it's
Can
me.
Can I see it?
See what?
They like flutter towards you. Can I see it? Can I touch it?
I mean, I'm drinking it right now, but I mean, if you want some,
You're
there's
what?
plenty
You
of it.
have it in your beer? That's gross.
What are you talking about?
Poc's hand.
Oh. Oh, wait, how do you know about Puck's hand?
Well, because he told us. I can't believe he
Ah.
lost his hand to you.
Well, I mean, yeah, okay, go on. I'll pull out a little box and open it up, beaming, and inside is a hand, a goblin hand, preserved in salt.
Oh, can I touch it?
Yeah, that's what it's for. Rub it for good luck. 'Cause he didn't
It
have
feels
any
so
of it.
gross. It feels so gross. Oh my gosh. They just giggle to each other.
Awesome. Well, hope he's doing well. Hope he found a different instrument to play.
Oh, he is not doing well, but he'll figure it out.
Well, I hear there's magic out there for that. I just, or beer.
Oh, yeah, he
beer
tried.
solves things.
he tried to find magic, and he had to bet for it like he did with you in his hand, and he lost again.
Oh no! What did he lose this time?
Well, they were going to take his other hand, but then he doubled down, and so they would have to give him two hands if he won. He didn't win.
Oh no! Well, I mean, they can't have this one. I already have it.
Well, so now he has to work for Isolde for 1 year and 11 days.
Where?
Isolde, and they point towards the other carnival.
Wait! Pokpok's here?
Yeah, Pokpok's here.
Ah! Oh my God! I gotta look at this bastard. Come on! Let's go look at this Pokpok. Oh man, he used to be able to play a lute. Now I can't. Oh, I can't play a lute.
Oh my God.
Just gotta sing for his supper now. Can't do that either. He sounds like garbage.
He was one of those bards that relied on one instrument only.
Yep. Too bad.
All right. As you head into the carnival, meanwhile, Lyra and Dizzy, you head deeper into this group of wagons. And you find this wagon that you don't see anyone outside of it, but there is a very large structure, like, on top of it that looks like a conglomeration of gears and, clockwork items and such. And it looks like if any of these wagons would belong to a gnome that makes such things, it would be this one.
Well, this looks promising.
But it does. I wonder if we're going to find what we're looking for.
Lyra kind of pauses them for a minute and looks at Dizzy and says, carnivals are known for tricking the eye and getting
Right.
So keep your eyes open. It might be what we think we're looking for, but be something else entirely, because we're at the carnival and none other than the Witchlight Carnival. So
Fair enough.
keep your eyes open for tricks.
But I do have... Well, I guess we both have a penchant for trickery.
Lyra looks like a little smug and just continues on. Just maybe perhaps.
So what you're saying is you would fit right in. All right. So what do you do?
Lyra's gonna bring them up to the wagon where the gears are, and
Okay.
if the wagon isn't open, if it's not a cart selling wagon, she's gonna knock on the door.
Okay. Yeah, it does look like it can open up, but it currently is not. So you knock on the door, and you notice that there are, several gears on the door and such. And this door seems to be made of metal as you rap on it. And inside you hear some shuffling about, it can't be time yet. And you hear footsteps head towards the door, and all of the gears turn slightly as the door opens, and inside is a very tired-looking gnome. He has sacks under his eyes. His hair, which is very dark-colored, is all out of sorts, and he pulls up some spectacles and loops the wires around his ears and looks at you. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not open for business yet.
Oh, we're not exactly customers. We're workers hoping to shop before we start.
I hate that rule. It's so annoying. What do you need?
Well, we're looking for a watch, a special watch.
I mean, every watch I make is special.
Have you received any watches from expeditions that might be maybe a little more special than the watches that you make?
Oh, I try not to buy third-party merchandise. It's always such low quality. No, I haven't bought anything recently.
Have you found anything recently?
Not in the watch category, but I have found that I hate being woken up in the morning so soon after we leave another site. You know what I mean? And he blinks
Lyra
at you.
definitely like shakes her head. She's not a morning person. She is not. I mean, there's a reason she was late that morning down to meet everybody. Like, she's not a morning person. So she's like, "Yeah, would you like some breakfast? Maybe we can chat over breakfast. It's before hours, you know. We're happy to bring you whatever."
No. No, I think I'm going back to bed for now.
Well, I mean, what is your most special item that you currently have? I just want to get, a heads up before some normal person that probably wouldn't understand the value of your creations.
That makes sense. That makes sense. I have a swarm of dragonflies that I made. I think they're going to be amazing once I release them.
What do they do?
They fly. They fly around. That's what dragonflies do.
It takes all of Lyra's self-control not to look unimpressed. But she looks mildly unimpressed. Okay.
You're too old to understand. If there's nothing else, I'm gonna go back to bed. And the door slowly starts to shut.
Let me see your selection of watches.
The stupid rule. Turns around and hold on. Inside it's dark, but with your dark vision you can see that there are like multiple, they look like very thin drawers that pull out. But he pushes a button and you hear whirring noises and a drawer like opens itself. And he pulls a tray out of one and walks back over to you. This is really the best of my selection.
While Dizzy's looking, by the way, Lyra says, "We just arrived? I thought... Maybe I'm getting my days mixed up. I thought we'd been here for a few days." Like, just kind of like playing along, you know? Like, maybe I'm just getting my days mixed up.
Wait, who are you again? He's holding the watches out for Dizzy to look at.
Hired. And she looks very mercenary. Like, she is a mercenary. Like, one of the new guards they hired. I don't get much sleep, overnight watches. And she just kind of looks to him like, he likes sleep. He'll understand.
Huh. And he's holding the tray for Dizzy to look at.
I mean, did you not hear about the commotion that's happened like over the night?
No.
Yeah, Witch and Light, they have been throwing fits.
Wait, did you say Witch and Light?
Lyra's
Yes,
like,
that's
internally,
where
like-
you are. This is where we are.
I knew
Is
she
this
would
not-
find those suckers sooner or later. So you work for them?
Lyra's like, no. And she's kind of like vaguely looks into Dizzy like, "We've been traveling with you all along.
Yeah.
We just got hired yesterday, right?" Like,
Yeah,
Let's
I mean,
do
I'm
a
a free agent,
deception
essentially.
I'm a
deception
free
check?
agent. I like it.
Lyra, being the rogue and like thief and mercenary she is, she's looking not pleased. She's like, like,
Huh, not bad. So he's just kind of like laughing to himself. Okay. Do you see anything that you'd like?
I don't know, I'm a little interested in this, what's so amusing right now. I love a good joke. I mean, I'm a bard. I can turn anything into a joke or an
Yo.
epic.
Hang out till this evening then, because the fun will be abound. I'm sure of that.
Yeah, I can't wait to see I get Light get what he deserves, because he's a bit of a sourpuss.
Oh, I'm sure they will. Are
Alright,
you done looking? Can I put the watches away now?
what do you think, Lyra? Do any of these catch your eye?
Do they?
I mean,
I'm not
do
gonna lie, she
they?
hasn't like super been paying attention to the watches. She's been like more focused on the gnome, but like she gives like a cursory glance at
Yeah,
the watches.
all of them are essentially like a pocket watch, where they're like the kind of a larger, not like a wristwatch. They all have chains on them. They're very nice, but as far as whether they catch your attention, that's completely up to you.
I mean, you have an eye for value.
Lyra does wait. She does have an eye, like one of her features is eye for detail. So she can like make a perception check to spot a hidden creature or object, or use investigation to find a clue or something.
Gotcha.
FYI.
So I'll do, just passively, I think you get the idea that these are pretty finely made.
Okay.
They're probably also quite expensive compared to the flea market shop you were at earlier.
All right. Lyra just kind of shakes her head and like dismisses the watches. She doesn't have the money for that.
Gotcha.
She's out. She's like, nah, I'm good. I'll steal it later anyway.
Well, if you don't want any, then I hope you'll stop by later for the Dragonfly show. Good.
Of course, dragonflies, they were a big staple of my childhood.
Good night, or rather good day, or you know what I mean. I'll see you later.
Alright, have
The
a
door.
pleasant sleep.
The door shuts and gears turn and you can hear it lock. Meanwhile,
Before we move back to Twiggy and Lilith, Lyra's just gonna kind of like lightly shove to see like, and then just like continue to walk away.
I just thought that we would get some information, but apparently they're not as bright as I thought they would be. So,
on the upside, you're
Or-
pretty sure this is not the gnome you're looking for.
yeah.
Lyra's like, you need to learn how to lie better. I thought for a bard you would have bull, and she's like grumbling and she's like walking off. Like,
I mean, I can lie when I need to. I didn't think that I would have to, but
it's just like very grumbly, like shaking her head, like, let's go.
but I do want to stop through this area later and maybe pick up a few things.
Okay. All right. So meanwhile, Lilith and Twiggy, what are you doing?
Going on in.
Yeah, I think we're going on in.
Okay. You do notice that there are some people that like eye you. They're like, oh, and then they go back to setting up and such. Where do you want to head?
I mean, are we able to see, say, like our companions kind of walking away, walking around?
Not currently.
Not currently.
I mean, we could easily find him. I just go up. But
Yeah,
there's seagulls.
if you do it quickly and then come back down right by me, I'm tall enough to get them off, like to keep them away from you.
All right. Better. 'Cause if you don't,
I will
well, I'm
keep
gonna
the
get
seagulls
eaten.
away. I'll keep the seagulls away. You just have to go up for a second and just look around and then come back down.
All right, just 1 second though. Wait, watch this. I'm gonna hand you the.
I'll hold it.
Don't drink any of that. That's mine. Go up.
Okay. Make a perception
Keep
check.
an eye out. Keeping an eye out for seagulls, because they're everywhere. Let's see here. Perceiving. Boop.
So you go up and you're looking around,
Oh,
and
yeah.
like you definitely see the layout of the carnivals below you, but you spend a lot of your time, your eyes darting around the sky, and over there, it's not a seagull, but there is definitely something large and winged. Oh no, it might be heading your way.
Oh my god. They're probably dead. And I'm gonna head back down. Probably dead.
Twiggy the beer again.
I really need to
Raise
get
that
like
beer.
seagull noises, and I need to get like that eagle screech.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
So in the distance above Lilith, you can hear an eagle cry.
Those are more
Ugh.
trouble than seagulls. All
They-
right. Oh.
I was like a giant seagull. It was coming straight for me. It was gonna eat me. It knows I know the truth. I'm just gonna hold that tankard to my body and just, like a comfort blanket, and look for something that has maybe a bit of a shelter. Kind of hide me from
Is
the
there
sky.
a shelter
Sure.
nearby? Is there like a?
Yeah, there's some
Okay.
trees and such that you could go stand under.
We'll
Excellent.
stand
Seagulls
under
don't
a
roost.
tree for just a moment, just
They
to
can't roost.
just to appease Twiggy, just to kind of
Okay.
settle the situation down.
Twiggy, what is your passive perception?
Probably 12. It might be lower than that. What is it? It's probably lower. It's probably yeah, it's 12.
12? Okay.
12.
So you all head over, the two of you head over to a tree. Twiggy's holding his tankard of almost empty tankard of beer at this point. And you don't notice any seagulls in the tree. You feel pretty good about that.
Very good. Very good. It's because they can't roost. You see, seagulls, they live in the sea. They float. Float like little tiny marshmallows of death on the water. You don't see them in the trees. No. Not like an owl.
Lilith is just shaking her head, like, "Oh my god," but not saying anything. Not actually like making Twiggy feel bad, but just privately, like, "Oh, I can't believe this is a thing about seagulls. I just can't believe it."
I feel like for Lilith, like growing up in the far north, like maybe white dragons put this kind of feel onto you, but I mean it's kind of hard to like imagine having white dragons just like around all the time and having to live in this kind of paranoia of something flying over and snatching you away to eat you. Yeah.
Well, while we're sitting under the tree, are we able to
That's
kind
why
of,
I'm neon.
watch the people a little bit more?
Sure.
And are we able to, like, are our friends? Are we able to perceive our friends if we sit down and we're just kind of like, because we're sort of at the front, so we're gauging out.
It's a very good question. Hold, please. Disney and Lyra, what are you doing? As you walk,
Lara definitely like grumbled and stomped off.
right? Did you head back towards the entrance from where you came, or are you? Where's
She
your
would
destination?
head that direction, but begrudgingly wait for Dizzy to like turn around to see like if he was okay to leave or if he had anything else he wanted to do.
Dizzy,
Uh,
do you have
She's like
other?
kind of like stomping and like, what are we doing?
I'm good to go. I
Sure.
don't have anything else I want to do.
Okay.
So
She
as
literally
you,
goes, okay. Just like,
so you head back towards that like fairway that goes in between the two carnivals. So there is like that path that that kind of cuts between the wagons, and then you see this, the kind of gate. It's not really a gate, but there's like an open area that allows you to travel between the two carnivals. You don't see your friends there. In fact, you don't even know they're behind you. Never mind. Which direction do you want to go?
I mean, Lyra would definitely be making her way towards the like wagon, like where they're supposed to go to get Witch for light. Like that was their original purpose for coming this way.
Okay.
So like she's headed that way. So I think she'd like head like this way. Like,
Okay. Dizzy, do you...
You know, I could move my token on the map maybe once.
Psh, psh, you stop your sense making. Dizzy, are you following Lyra, or are you going to...
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so as you head back down towards the big top of the Witchlight, you notice that there's, like, the people that were kind of hiding and such earlier have now come out of hiding and are... some of them are grouped up together. They're kind of talking nervously. Others have returned to doing their work, but every so often they glance with a certain sense of apprehension towards the other carnival. And as you walk around the big top, you hear, because you, Dizzy at least heard, I think Lyra did too, Witch speaking with the mage last time, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As soon as I remember what their name is. Hold, please. That mage's name... Actually, I don't think you found out his name. I apologize.
No.
You hear the two of them talking. It sounds like they're outside. They're not in the wagon. As you come around the edge of the big top, you see that kind of larger, somewhat rotund elf speaking with the mage that has the hat, or rather had the hat because now it's laying on the ground again, nearby, but not really within his line of vision. What do you do?
I'm gonna pick up the hat again and put it back on.
Put it back on your head?
Yes.
Okay. Anything else?
I'm gonna try to, I guess, eavesdrop on the conversation again.
Okay. So you're trying to do so stealthily? Like...
Oh, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Why
Most
don't you make
certainly.
me a stealth check? Nice. So you put the hat on and you just kind of like move in a way that you were kind of behind the mage to begin with, and now the mage is between you and Mr. Witch, and so Mr. Witch can't see you at all. You just kind of use the situation to disappear from him. Lyra, what are you doing?
Lyra is... Part of her wants to listen in on the conversation, but I think, honestly, noting that the mage and witch are, like, outside the wagon, she's gonna, like, look around to see if there's, like, either, like, a window or, like, a back door into the wagon that she can just, perhaps, potentially sneak into.
Gotcha. You do remember, so there's the door on the one end of the wagon, and you do remember that there were like some small windows on either side that were closed up with like shutters the last time you were looking, or listening rather.
Okay. Are they things that reasonably she thinks she could maybe climb in? Or are they a little high spot? Because like I'm thinking like wagon on wheels, like windows, like I'm saying, you know what I
Right.
mean? Like
Yeah, they were probably a little high, and the shutters were on the outside and covered it, so it was hard to tell, but thinking about it, they're probably a little tiny for you to fit through.
okay. I mean Lyra's pretty tiny, but well not height wise, but weight wise, she's pretty live. Okay. So she doesn't really see that there's like a way for her to like sneak into the wagon in another sort of way. So she is going to like, so if Witch is facing the mage and like Witch can't see the mage, Lyra's gonna try to like come around like the other side
Mm-hmm.
to like, but she's like kind of around the wagon, not really directly behind Witch or the mage, you know, like, so she's just kind of like, if Dizzy's kind of like more in front, she just kind of like veers off around the other side of the wagon to like come around the other side
Sure.
to like listen up.
Why don't you go ahead and give me a stealth roll?
Okay.
Nice. So you're kind of both listening, and Dizzy, as Lyra's moving around and out of sight, you both hear them discussing very quietly, which says, I don't want to cause any issues. I don't want there to be a panic. But we need to do something. I don't know what to do. The watch is gone. The cane is gone. She can't take it from us at this point. I know what the agreement was, but that's not our problem. If she wants it back, she can go find the watch and cane. And the mage is kind of nodding. Yeah, no, I agree, yeah. Uh-huh. I don't know if she's gonna accept that. No, you're right. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Lilith, what's your passive? Sorry, passive perception. I guess I should finish the sentence.
10.
10. Go ahead and make me a perception check then. Amazing. So you two are like hanging out, and Twiggy's watching the sky, watching the branches, drinking his beer. You don't see your friends at all.
Of course we
Seagulls
don't.
got 'em. Seagulls got 'em. They don't just travel alone, they travel in packs.
Oh my god.
It's true. You see the sailors get swarmed by them all the time. Good thing they've got going for them is they're bigger than I am. Fight them off, but it doesn't always work.
Wiggy, we should find them. Are you ready to move? Are you ready to find them?
If we must. Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to this new attraction, but it's no fun if we can't share it with everybody else.
Yes.
Just be prepared for the worst. There may be blood. There may be squawking. Oh, the horror. All right, let's go.
All right. Lilith shakes her head. And then I guess we head. So we did not notice them leave at all, but that doesn't mean anything.
Have you tried yelling?
You know what, Twiggy? I think you should yell for them.
I mean, I could, but got a small voice compared to your voice, and maybe if you yelled, they'd hear you. I
suppose.
Predators.
And Lilith can. So, yeah. Let's see. Lilith is fancy. Where is that?
I don't know why, but all of a sudden now I want to make a Goliath bard that just yodels, because they're from like the north and growing up standing on the mountain peak yodeling.
I mean, I've got some bagpipes, but I mean, I could play some bagpipes. I mean, I don't
Like it.
Well, I can do some fun stuff.
Let's see.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, thaumaturgy, totally.
I can do some fun stuff. So, I'm just going to boom out their names
Okay.
and say, "Show yourself."
So just like this ear-shattering shout coming from Lilith, shouting for Lyra and Dizzy. Lyra and Dizzy, make a perception check at disadvantage.
Disadvantage. Oh, because we're listening to the conversation. I was like, why? Did that not push?
There we go. Oh, that's Dizzy's.
Why didn't mine
Oh.
push? That's weird.
Lyra's
That
well,
is amazing, Dizzy.
Yeah.
A crit
Lyra's is a 12.
and a fail. 12? Awesome.
Yeah. I don't know why it didn't push.
So, Lyra, you're listening to this conversation. For a moment there, you think you heard your name or something, and you look around. Nah, you didn't.
Okay. Well, it's just like walking in a big crowd. Like you think somebody says your name, but you're like, come in. Oh well, like, type of thing.
Uh-huh.
All right, Lyra's unbothered then. Like she's just like,
Okay.
all right, well, that was weird.
So what are Dizzy and Lyra? You get this conversation. What do you do?
Should we show the mage the staff and see, or the cane, and see if that is the cane, or
Well, Lyra is no longer near Dizzy, so I mean,
Yeah,
she
so you're
is,
on-
but she's like on the other side of the wagon.
I'm gonna snag your tokens and put you where you are.
Okay.
Hold please.
I suppose we can actually move our token.
So Dizzy,
I
and
would
these
say
aren't.
Lyra's like here. Yeah, like
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's pretty much how it is. Obviously not to scale.
yeah,
But
you
that's
know.
your general. So she went around, and you're kind of like hanging out there, and there's like this moment with that amazing roll that you did for hiding. Like the mage will move, and you're just like, woo, woo. So you always stay out of Mr. Witch's sight,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't currently see Lyra. Who
Okay.
has the cane? Who took the cane with them?
I think
I know that
Dizzy
I
did.
paid for it, but I don't know
Yeah.
if I took it. Okay, I guess I
I
have
think
it.
Dizzy did. Yeah.
So, if you want to show it to the mage and Mr. Witch, or wait for the mage to leave and show it to just the mage, totally your call.
I'm gonna wait for the mage to leave because I don't want to deal with Mr. Witch. So he doesn't seem like a friendly person.
Okay. All right. Are you gonna kind of back out of the area then?
Yeah. I'll just like back into that bush or something.
Sure. All right, Lyra, what are you doing?
I mean, are they still standing there, like talking and stuff?
Sounds like their conversation's wrapping up.
Um.
And the mage will probably be departing here momentarily.
Okay. I don't want to make out of character. I don't want to make your job harder, but Lyra is gonna attempt to watch where Witch goes,
Okay.
unless Witch just like goes back into his wagon.
He does go back into the wagon.
Lyra's bored already.
I mean, it made it easy, right?
Yeah, I mean it does make it easy. Yeah.
Yeah, you feel the wagon kind of like sag to one side and then readjust as he moves through it.
Okay. If the mage is like going off somewhere, she will, wait till he moves a little bit more and then like pair back up with Dizzy.
So Dizzy, you notice as the conversation comes to an end and Witch heads into the wagon, the mage turns around and starts heading out. He's gonna walk right past you, but you were like so well hidden he doesn't notice you. And he reaches up and he's like, "Oh, where's my damn hat this time? Whatever." And he begins wandering past you.
Alright, I'm just gonna kind of pop out of the bush.
My hat!
Be like, hey, friend.
Oh, you scared me.
Yeah, is this the particular cane that you're looking for? And I'm gonna show him the cane.
Oh
I
no.
found it. Oh.
No,
what-
that's not it,
what-
but that's a very nice, very fine craftsmanship.
Would you be able to describe this cane and the watch that seems so very important to Mr. Witch and Mr. Light?
Yes, I can absolutely describe that as he thinks about it momentarily. It's kind of a very long goldish color, and it has what looks like maybe fairy wings near the top, sprouting out from it, with gold and red workings on it, like filigree and such. And then the top of it has a very red jewel embedded into it.
Okay, that should help. figure that if we help you out, it'll make things easier on you, which will make things easier on us.
I mean, on the one hand, it would be great to find those so that we can, close the and move the carnival. But on the other hand, with Isolde here, she can't really take back the carnival until those items are found. So, Witch is very unsure of what to do, and I don't blame him. I'm gonna go find Light and attempt to not get on his bad side.
Well, I think you'll be fine because the last time I saw him, he looked very panicked. So you might be able to get whatever you want out of him if you want anything.
As long as he's not angry, yeah, that should be fine. Where did you
Well,
see him last?
Near the breakfast area or the
Okay.
eating area.
Okay, good. Maybe he's drunk himself into a stupor. That would be fantastic. Excellent. Thank you.
It would be.
Lyra is like kind of like she had been around the side of
Mm-hmm.
the thing, and so she kind of like heard this conversation and
Yeah.
then like vaguely was like, oh right. And she turns around and goes back to Witch's wagon and like up the steps and just on the door.
Okay, so you knock on the door?
Yeah.
Okay. Dizzy, are you hanging out, or are you going with the mage, or are you gonna go? Which direction are you heading?
I'm gonna wait for Lyra just because I mean I don't really know what's going on, so I am just. I mean, she's got to walk past me at some point, right?
Yeah. So as the mage leaves, he's like, "Hey, that's a really nice hat," and walks off.
Thank you.
Lyra walks up the steps, knocks on the door. The wagon kind of lumbers, shakes, and the door opens. Yes.
Mr. Witch, Mr. Light is looking for you over in the feeding area. He requested I come
good,
and
you
get
know where
you
he is.
immediately.
Perfect. Excellent. He just waits for you to move.
Lyra doesn't. She's
Excuse
Lyra.
me.
I should warn you, he has been drinking,
That's probably a good thing, actually.
and he seems quite afraid of something.
As
If I may
he should
accompany
be.
you just to ensure your safety.
Oh, that's your job, right?
Of course.
Yeah. So excuse me.
She kind of like half steps to the side, but like continues like, like a security guard would,
Yeah.
like a half step behind to the side type of like.
So you start heading
We're
that
going.
way, and as you get further out, you're gonna walk by Dizzy. Dizzy,
Yep.
are you remaining hidden, or are you available for being found?
I'm available for being found.
Okay. So you see them come around like the edge of the tent. Lyra seems to be guarding Mr. Witch.
She's definitely gonna like nod at Dizzy, like, yes, this is what we're doing.
All right, so I'm gonna just kind of slip into the group. Well, I guess just the two of them.
Okay.
Slip into formation.
Yeah.
And as you walk out, the bugbear Burley is standing there, and Mr. Witch motions him to follow, so he joins you. So the three of you follow Mr. Witch away. Excuse me. Lilith and Twiggy, what's going on?
Thinking I want to walk back in and call out again.
So you're gonna walk back into this area?
Into the like back as if we're gonna go get some more beer for my friend,
Gotcha.
for Twiggy. Seeing that Twiggy's beverage is slowly dwindling.
Perfect. Make a perception check, Lyra and Dizzy.
Okay.
Okay. Lyra, that same kind of thing happens. You are currently in the food area in Mr. Witch's talking with Mr. Light. Like, you hear
Okay,
your
so
name.
we're back down here now.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
But she
hear-
like again thinks she hears her name.
Yeah.
Like just like
It's a little more distinct this time, and it sounds a little bit like Lilith, but she must be very far away.
I mean,
Pretty
there's
frustrated, Lilith.
there's not much Lyra can do other than just kind of like look around and be like, like internally she's like, I hear it, but also, like, do I like no, and she decides to stay
Okay.
with Witch and Light.
So Twiggy and Lilith, what do you do?
We're gonna head back and get some more beer. Or Lilith is. I don't know. Twiggy, what do you think?
Well, I mean, it's important to stick together because it's most likely true that the gulls got them. So
Lilith is gonna
have
hold
beer
her
to-
cape out for Twiggy, just to kind of be like underneath a little bit, and
Oh,
walk
that's
side by
perfect.
side, so you have extra
It's-
cover.
this way we can get a beer and commiserate their loss.
So Twiggy and Lilith, both of you make perception checks for me. Please.
Super perceptive.
Nice. Lilith, you're looking around and like more time has passed than you expected. The sun is probably a couple hours from setting. The carnival is mostly set up at this point. Like people have the workers have cleaned up, and all the things they were doing just a little while ago seem to be done, and people are just kind of milling around at this point. And as you both head into the food area, you notice that breakfast there isn't any breakfast going on. There's no food set out. There are a couple people having drinks, but there's nothing eventful going on other than Mr. Witch and Mr. Light are hushedly talking over on the far side. Lyra and Dizzy are hanging out nearby them, I think, unless you're doing something else.
No, Lyra would like, she'd probably like vaguely echo whatever Burley does, so like stay nearby, but also like within distance.
Yeah, so
like
Burley,
a normal security guard would, like somebody who would like step back but be nearby.
right? Yeah, Burley definitely has like distanced himself from their conversation, so he's off.
Lyra has not distanced herself as far as Burley has, like again, like that like vague type of like similarity.
Gotcha. And Dizzy.
I'm gonna just hang back with Burley and Lyra.
Okay. Perfect. So yeah, Twiggy and Lilith, you walk in and see them.
We're gonna walk. Oh, I'm gonna walk right on over to them.
Lilith, with that perception check, you're going to notice something else. There is a shiny object next to one of the benches.
Ooh. Check that shiny object out.
So I'm getting echo off of somebody. Sorry.
Uh-oh.
Let me see. Is it me?
It might be me.
It is you.
Sorry.
Okay. So as you head over there, Lilith, you notice there is a small, pretty well, like taken care of lamp, but it's like one of those oil lamps that has like the trying to not name it here. It has like a spout that comes out, and like you light the wick down here. It's just laying on the ground, and it wasn't here earlier.
I am going to pull out, or I'm going to pick it up with my robe and take it with me over to Lyra and Dizzy.
Okay.
and look back and just hope that Twiggy is with me as well.
Twiggy is trying to grasp what he's seeing here, because they're very much alive, and he was certain they were dead. Hey! 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 Be like bouncing, sparkling, general glitter is occurring.
Both Witch and
Beeline
Light stop
for-
and turn and look around at Twiggy.
No,
and
not
then-
you. Not.
And then go back to the
them.
conversation.
You guys are alive. We should have a drink to celebrate. Yes. I'm going to go refill my chuck the other tankard and grab a full one.
Larry, you're muted. Or at least I can't hear you.
I muted myself because of feedback, and then I forgot. You know that like that moment where like somebody in a crowd is waving to you and you're trying to pretend not to see them or hear them?
Yep.
That's pretty much what Lyra is doing. Like Lyra is like, I don't know you. This is not happening. Why is everybody so incompetent?
Yeah.
That's...
And Disney, what are you doing?
I'm just gonna try to remain as inconspicuous as I possibly can.
Okay. So Twiggy, both of them just kind of ignore you. And Lilith, what are you doing?
I'm gonna walk right on up to Lyra and show her what I just found. Like, hey, did you notice this? And hold the lamp in my cloak.
You did not notice it.
What?
You did not notice it. To answer her question, she asked if you noticed it. You did not notice it.
Okay. Have Witch and Light, like, are they still talking? No, they've stopped to like turn to look.
No,
right?
no. After they looked at Twiggy, they were just like, whatever. They're used to Fae. They're used to rambunctiousness. So they just kind of went back to what they were doing.
Okay. Lyra is gonna like very like vaguely look towards Lilith, right? Like she's like still paying attention, but like half looking at Lilith, like splitting her attention honestly, which is probably not the best. But you know. Yeah. So she is like she has been trying to listen to like what Witch and Light are saying. But she'll like look towards Lilith, like see the lantern, like look towards Lilith and just kind of go, no. And then like gently like nod towards like Witch and Light and go like shh. You know.
Lilith is gonna roll her eyes and just like listen.
You and your antics.
They're very, very quiet. Every so often you get very small bits of their conversation. They seem very worried about this Isolde person, and they mention that obviously they can't take the carnival right now, so it sounds like they're trying to figure out what to do this evening as far as the carnival goes.
I will pay a bit more attention to Lilith then. If like she can't really like super listen, she'll like look to Lilith and be like, fine. Hi. What is that?
How the hell am I supposed to know?
You're the one who picked it up.
It was shiny. Of course I had to pick it up.
I mean, okay. That's fair.
So what are they talking about? What are they talking about?
Something, and she'll take like a further step back, so it's like not to, you know, something about like they can't move the carnival, and I don't know who she is, has like something, like they can't give it back to her, or, and Lyra's like a little confused because she's only like picked up, you know, like bits and pieces, but she's definitely heard like she, and like there's definitely not a she there, you know. She's like, so something about a she, and they can't move the carnival. I think it has something to do with the cane and the watch and some weird time stuff. Have you noticed that the sun is like further? And she's like a little like worked up, and then she's like, what is that? And like looks at the lantern. Like she's like back focused on the lantern. So she kind of like rambles at Lilith a little bit, which is rare. It's rare for Lyra to ramble, but she's been like holding her tongue for the past like 3 hours. So she's like,
Lilith is gonna back up a little bit and look at Dizzy, and also look at Twiggy, and just kind of hold up the lantern. Like, hey.
come here.
Do you head to that?
I'll walk over it.
Okay.
Huh. What is that?
Like, I don't know. I just found it. Do I have any idea what it does? Or
You're pretty
what
sure it's a
expect-
lamp.
Just a lamp.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, let's try lighting it, and well, I guess it's not dark out, but we could still light it and see what it does. I mean,
Okay.
I'm not gonna light it, but you
What?
can feel free to light it.
Lilith, the way that you're holding it and have kind of been moving it around, you realize there's no oil in it. Like it wouldn't be able to be
It's a
lit.
light anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe that's another thing for another time, and I'll just kind of hold on to it and listen and see what everybody's doing.
And Twiggy, what are you doing?
I was just thinking about how it could be a hat. Be quite fashionable. I mean, we got the carnival coming up. Fancy hats. You can put it on your head. He's got these images of Lilith wearing the lantern as a hat.
Absolutely.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty good idea. Full of good ideas.
I like that Twiggy is fashion forward.
Very fashion forward.
I mean,
Yeah.
look at him.
I know, right? Gotta get those neon colors to let those predators know I'm poisonous. Don't eat me. Don't do that. Yeah. The
The
seagulls
most
have bad
dangerous
eyesight.
animals are the ones who don't try to hide.
Right.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh.
Super important.
All right. So you're all back together. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna show everybody the stuff that we bought because I don't know what any of it does.
Okay.
If it does anything at all.
All right. So
Well.
Dizzy holds out a very finely made cane. So made of a very dark wood and has a interesting top to it. It definitely has like the thing on it has some large ears with like this weird tentacle nose.
Weird.
And then do you show him the other thing in the box?
Oh yeah, I do too.
What's in that
Because
box?
I have no idea what it is or what it does.
What size of a hand is it?
So real quick, I just have to throw out there that we decided yesterday, my wife and I, that much like Schrodinger's cat, a box will always have Gwyneth Paltrow's head in it until you open it and find out otherwise. If you haven't seen Seven, go check out Seven.
What's in
so,
the box?
That's a fantastic 7 reference.
So they open the box. You look inside. There is a hand. It looks, it's humanish, but it's very tiny. So it could be like a pixie hand. It could be a fairy
Circular
hand.
pot, right?
Yeah. So it like swivels open and stays
Okay.
connected.
And it's like Lyra palm sized, which I think after Lilith, Lyra is the tallest.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's bigger or smaller than my hand?
It's a little bit bigger than your hand is, Twiggy. Not much.
Does it glitter?
It does not seem to glitter.
Well, not a pixie then. Case solved.
Case solved. We know
Yep.
what it's not.
We know what it's not. Have you tried eating it? No?
This does not look edible to me.
Could be. Could be candy.
I mean, do you want to try eating it?
Maybe. I mean, unless it's a hand of a fairy, and then I probably wouldn't do that because, curses. But, yeah. I mean, kind of, have you smelled it?
No, I haven't really done anything with it, but if you want to be my guest.
I'll bring it here. I'll but give that thing a smell, an exploratory lick.
Smells maybe a little bit like pine?
Okay. Does it taste like pine?
It tastes kind of like a juniper berry, yeah.
Does it feel?
Not Lyra perking up, even though she's a vegetarian, because she's like, gin? What?
Right.
Smell and taste like gin?
Is it fleshy or is it like?
It is fleshy.
Like, I'm gonna turn it and look. I'm gonna open my box, pull out Pok's hand, and look at the stump where it used to be attached to an arm. Do they look the same, kinda? Like a bone and some maybe.
They do. How was Pok's hand removed?
Probably with an axe.
So, whereas Pok's is somewhat clean, there is like a certain ruggedness to the edge, whereas the edge of this hand is just cleanly cut off.
Weird. Well, I don't think it's candy, but it sure does smell nice, like the forest. Weird that it would smell like the forest.
I would imagine that it's probably the box that it smells like, maybe.
Hold on, I'm gonna smell the box.
It smells like the hand does.
Exploratory taste of the box.
The box doesn't so much taste like juniper. It tastes more like the inside's kind of a velvet, so it tastes like velvet.
Nope, it's the hand. Definitely the hand. Probably like I don't know, like something you put in your room to make it smell better. Or
I was just thinking that. You hang it in your car from your rearview mirror.
Yeah. Probably that. Probably nothing sinister at all. Totally normal. Just like Pok's hand.
What could go wrong?
Nothing could go wrong. It's probably fine.
Is there any oil or anything nearby from another lantern that I could just take?
You don't see any. No.
Okay. And does Lilith recognize any of these other things? Has she seen anything like that in her travels?
I mean, the cane is a cane. It's a very nice cane. And the hand is a hand? You're not really sure. Like, again, it could be a pixie, could be a sprite, could be a fairies.
So at Twiggy's insistence that it smells and oddly tastes like the forest, Lyra is half wood elf. So she's gonna take a little bit closer of a look, like, wait, what? What are you talking about? And really kind of peer this thing of what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Gives you a sense of home, like one of those keepsakes where you're like, oh, I wish I could smell the sea. Those pesky seagulls. And so you have a thing, and you're like, yes, that smells like the sea. Same thing. This is probably just a.
And if you hold it up to your ear, it sounds like the forest.
Oh.
I'm like, wait, is this serious, or
No.
are we just memeing right now?
No, sorry, I'm messing with you on that one. Yeah, looking
I mean,
at
Lyra's excited. It smells like gin and sounds like the forest. She's home.
it, right?
She's totally home.
You go into distilling, you make gin that sounds like the forest.
Perfect.
No, it's some kind of small humanoid for sure. As far as why it's exuding that smell, you're not sure.
Okay. While everybody's examining everything, maybe halfway through or 3/4 of the way through, when they seem like they're wrapping up examining everything, assuming that nobody can really figure out what this is, but everybody's seen it, right? She is gonna say, oh, that weird click-clock gnome told us to watch out for tonight, what they have planned. It doesn't exactly seem like and she gestures towards the area that's the extra area, right?
So as you gesture that way, you realize it is very quiet all of a sudden.
Oh, great. She kind of finishes her sentence in a hushed tone.
Yeah.
And she's like, it doesn't seem like they are part of the carnival.
And as
Don't
you
And she's very
Surprise.
uncomfortable now.
What was that, Twiggy?
You don't want to lure in a surprise. It's a new show. So they've been keeping it under wraps. It seems doing a very good job actually. We've got a sneak peek.
No, they
So,
mentioned finding witch and light, so I don't really know.
So
Oh,
as
weird.
as Twiggy is like making this exclamation, Lyra, and you've gestured that way, you realize there is a very tall elven woman standing at the entrance to the food court. She's carrying a sword that seems to glow in the fading light, a deep red color, and she just has, as she like leans it up on her shoulder and like stands there all kind of how you kind of stand, where you're just like, I'm sassy, you know what I mean? She stands there and she's smirking. She's smirking, and you realize that like everyone else is just like dead quiet, and you glance back and Witch and Light are just staring at her, and everyone else has kind of like shrunk down and moved out of the way and are hiding, and the four of you are just standing in between this newcomer and Witch and Light. And that is where we will end for today.
Oh, man.
Interesting.
Sassy lady.
Want a beer?
Right?
You're cute.
Yeah, we end as Twiggy's like, want a drink? Awesome. Well, thank you all for playing today. Thanks everybody for joining us. Be back next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Anything that anybody wants to share? Anyone have anything coming up? Streams, releases, fun stuff? No?
Not at the moment.
All right.
So that's fun.
Yeah.
Which I think I'll still be able to be on. Maybe not video.
We'll see what next week brings, but there might be an extra baby Lilith.
Might be
Yeah.
Baby Celeste. Baby
Yay! It's such a pretty name. I'm so excited to meet the Celeste.
Celeste.
Yes.
She's rolling up a paladin, right? You're gonna
Yeah.
you're gonna paladin.
Absolutely.
Ah,
And we'll
perfect.
have one of those mats where she can like press, for a D20 kind of thing.
Right.
So like wherever she rolls, we'll be like, oh, it's a 5.
Wait,
Oh.
why is
Oh,
that
yeah.
not a thing? That should be a thing. We need
Like
to
a
make
mat
that a
with all the
thing.
different copies of whatever the
Right.
baby crawls towards. Just like,
That would be amazing.
yeah.
Celeste, roll a D20. Good job. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye bye.